Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, research, education, and parody. Under this act, fair use is permitted use of copyrighted content that might otherwise infringe on the exclusive rights of copyright holders. The TezDown podcast is a platform for entertainment and education. Edutainment, a blend of education and entertainment, emphasizes content that informs while it entertains. The views expressed in this channel's commentary do not necessarily reflect or represent the views of the hosts, and may not always reflect complete or verified accuracy of information presented. All content, including commentary, analysis, and discussion, falls within the legal parameters of fair use. We make no claims to ownership of any third-party content. This is the TezDown. Sports unscripted, culture unfiltered. Thank you for understanding.
Yeah. Everything I do fire. Dropped the best 2 albums in 17. I'm hungry.
What?
I'm hungry. Yeah. Hungry, but I ain't starving though. Had to be before cardio. Lyrical exercise cardio. I'm getting paid off audio. Change my rap name to Lotta Bucks. Watch your head, baby, got a duck. Cuz I pulled up in the Audi truck, say upgrading to a Ferrari truck. Everything I do is straight smoke. 5 albums, that's chain smoke. Bout my green like the 8th smoke. About to cruise, Turks and Caicos. In corporate America with my hoodie on. They looking at me like I'm Trayvon. Better watch what you say wrong for your suntan turn spray on. On the Star Trek, watch them Klingon. For the sack chases, I'm Ray Charles. $1,000 for a feature verse. I threw my hands from braids. She said she like me with waves. Then fell in love with the braids. Everything I do is a wave. Thinking that you hit a lick, you better pray for you pray. Boy, I ain't nobody stain. You cannot get me a praise. I know a kid that's from my city named Clay that won't give me no plays. When I'm up 60 million in the mansion, they know that they made a mistake. Oh, ain't got no love for your neighbor. It's like Zach Morris trying to hate on Slater. It's like Carlton hating on Will. It's like Brutman hating on Gina.
Bro.
I know it's all in their nature. That's why I got love for my haters. Everybody wanna talk to me about the game, school me on the game. Right. As if I'm something to play with. I'm about to break the silence.
Welcome to the TezDown. Good afternoon here on a lovely Wednesday in the Midwest. It is good to see everybody in here already today. How y'all doing? Put them ones in the chat for me. I see somebody got them in there already. Ray said, what's good, Ray said? First one in the building today, followed by Roxy. What's happening, Roxy? How you doing today? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got a show ready for you guys already. And it is going to be interesting. So I'm telling you right now, it's up. Got a whole bunch of crazy stuff that we got to talk about today. Title of today's show, very simply and very plainly, is A-Corny Disposition. Some people might ask, what's so corny about this disposition that we're having right now? Well, you're going to see. We're going to start the day off with a ridiculous police officer and what happened with when he decided that he was going to lose his marbles, or so to say, or some people might say lose his acorns. Lose his marbles over what is apparently shots fired. So we're going to see about it right now. And this makes us ask a tougher question. Are these people being held accountable for their indiscretion and lack of training and generally just their scary nature? Because if someone did this who wasn't an armed officer, who wasn't a uniformed officer, who wasn't sanctioned by the government to do this, we probably lock them up for a very long time. They probably would get all types of charges from doing this, but because they're officers, they kind of get away with this type of behavior all the time. Let's just talk about it. Let's just see what they got going on. Thing number one in today's episode of the TezDown. Let's go.
I'm pulling out beautiful search.
Now, this is mainly body cam footage of this interaction. You guys feel free to talk about this during this video, because this is just going to get crazier.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! No! I'm hit! I'm hit! What? I'm hit! In the car! I ain't shot through the car! Oh! I'm good. I feel weird, but I'm good.
I'm sure you do feel weird.
I'm good. I'm good. I don't know. I might have hit my vest. Stay inside your house. Stay inside your house. It might hit my vest. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. It felt like it. Jesse, move over to me. I got you. Move over to me. Jesse, come back. Marky, right there. Dude, am I hit? Get further back. What? Wait, right there?
What? Continue.
Jesse, are you okay? Get in the house! Jesse! Get back! Where is he? 43, give me traffic. Shots fired. I got a deputy down. Off of McLaren. We're off of McLaren. Shots fired. I got a deputy down. Jesse, how are you? Jesse, how are you? Okay. 43 SO. I need EMS. On standby. Suspect is going to be in the vehicle. Where are you hit? No! Get back! No! Get back! Anybody couldn't do anything, please. No!
I might have hit my vest.
Okay.
No!
Get back! I'm not going to tell you go! Get back! Get her back now!
No!
These people are afraid of their own shadows. They're afraid of their own shadows. It has to be completely ridiculous for them to be behaving this way, especially when you find out that no shots were fired and that it was an acorn that hit the hood of his car and he lost his shit afterwards. Guys don't believe me? All right, it's cool. Let's go to the video.
We've got an exclusive interview with a Florida man who was shot at nearly 24 times by law enforcement, not because he was firing at them or running from them, but in fact, while he was detained in the back of a patrol car.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Where, right there?
A lot of drama there for what a sheriff's deputy says may have been an acorn hitting a car and was mistaken as gunfire. Marquis Jackson and his attorney spoke with Jamie Yukas about their lawsuit against the sheriff's office and the changes they're looking for.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
This is the moment Okaloosa County Sheriff's Deputy Jesse Hernandez opened fire on his own patrol vehicle, believing he hadn't just been shot at, but hit.
He unloaded an entire clip, reloaded.
Police say
and continued
Hernandez
to
and
shoot
his
his own
partner
car.
fired at least 22 rounds at the car.
Shots fired. I got a deputy down.
24-year-old Marquis Jackson was handcuffed and sitting in the back.
Do you hear the acorn hit the roof?
Nah, I don't hear no acorn at all.
Did you hear Officer Hernandez shout, "I've been hit"?
I didn't hear none of that.
So you didn't know anything that was going on outside?
Well, I ain't do nothing at all, so I'm like, why am I even here right now? So the next thing you know, all I hear is the gunshots. The first one I hear it come through the glass. The second one was across my face. I could feel the wind, so that's when I ducked.
What did you think was happening?
They were trying to kill me. When somebody's shooting at you, that's all they could be trying to do is kill you.
The incident played out as Deputy Jesse Hernandez and Sergeant Beth Roberts responded to a domestic dispute involving Jackson's girlfriend last November. Police said she claimed he stole her car, threatened her, and had a gun silencer. When Jackson arrived, he says he cooperated with officers.
And I tell them, I don't got no side. Whatever she wants to do, let's do it. Because basically I knew, I didn't steal her car. I didn't do nothing wrong. They searched me a couple times, then took me to the car. And right before they put me in the car, they searched me again.
Do you have any weapons on you?
No.
Okay.
What am I getting patted down for?
Because you're getting patted down.
In a statement, the sheriff says Jackson was only patted down once. Jackson claims it was at least twice. He wasn't hurt and was never charged with a crime. An internal investigation found Hernandez's actions violated policy. He resigned, but Roberts was cleared. Neither.
So again, we have a situation where someone is allowed to put the public in danger at this degree, put not just the quote unquote potential perpetrator in danger, but the rest of the public as well. And you guys see why we have such an issue with policy and when it's not followed. This guy could have seriously hurt a lot of people. It is a miracle that all 22 of the shots that he fired into his own vehicle did not end this man's life. This man was not charged with a crime. Yes, he was detained. Yes, he was arrested, which is typical in domestic situations, especially ones that involve calls like this, where he is considered armed and dangerous based on eyewitness complaints. That turned out to not be true. No charges were filed, and this officer gets to walk away scot-free for resigning from the force after he unloaded his service weapon 22 times into his own vehicle. This is ridiculous.
Criminal action.
What are the images you see that you can't get out of your head?
There's a whole lot of guns and glass falling, basically cop cars and sirens. I'm hearing noises all the time, stuff like that.
Do you think you have PTSD?
Most definitely.
As an advocate, we want to make sure that we get him the best help that he can. As a Black man, I'm enraged.
DeWitt Lacey represents Jackson and filed a lawsuit against the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office.
Why are you enraged?
The fear of this violent or angry Black man being loose is what's been used to justify and rationalize the fear. And that is upsetting. That is angering.
What do you hope the outcome is to all of this?
Accountability. We want them, and that is the law enforcement community, the sheriff's department, the county, to take this a little more seriously, to not pass this off as something that could be swept under the rug.
This could have gone very differently.
He could be dead, right? That
Yes.
is a
Yes, he
likely
could.
outcome when you shoot that many bullets into a patrol vehicle and somebody's in there.
For CBS Mornings, Jamie Yuccas in Los Angeles.
Well, he is right. It could be very different. In a statement to CBS News, the Okaloosa County sheriffs say deputies do not engage in the practice of bias-based profiling and are confident race was not a factor in this incident. The sheriff also said Lacey's claims about being swept under the rug are absurd. Deputy Hernandez, the officer who fired the initial shots and rolled around there, said he was hit, declined to comment for this story. Again, he's resigned.
It's a good call.
I don't think any cops watching this think that guy was mentally fit on that particular day in that moment to be an officer.
And it's hard to know, too, without knowing a little bit more about that officer in terms of his background.
No, it's not hard to know. Look, like, I understand that you're being a pundit on television to tell the news, but it's not hard to know what's going on here. Every time that we have these types of problems, it's because black men, brown men are considered dangerous no matter what the circumstances are. And you can't tell me that that isn't the case in this situation. You can't. Look at the facts that we've already witnessed. We've already witnessed that there was a complaint that was called that wasn't really true. They got there. Even the girlfriend was like, "What are you doing? I didn't call the police on him." This is starting to get to be ridiculous. So you have 6 cops show up. As McKinnon just said, 6 cops for one guy, not shocked that an acorn scared him when they have to wear full tactical gear and require a gang to apprehend one cooperating man. It's ridiculous. They threw him on the ground. They searched him multiple times. They cuffed him behind his back. They put him in a car, let him chill while he was in the car, completely no windows, no doors to be unlocked or anything like that because they don't open from the other side. I mean, there's not even a door handle on the other side. Come on now. I mean, you guys act like you haven't been thrown into a car before. Come on. Most of y'all have. We know. Everybody's been young. Everybody's made mistakes, whatever. But you're telling me that this guy was able to just resign because he messed up at work? Him messing up see, here's the thing. When people in public safety positions like this, public law enforcement positions, if you want to call them whatever, authoritative positions mess up, it isn't just them messing up. They could cost people their lives, and a lot of times they do. There's been plenty of cases where they have cost people their lives because of their actions. He's afraid. He should never have gotten this job. How did he pass the test to even get the job? The mental fortitude test. Like, come on now. This doesn't even make sense anymore. It's terrible. And you know what? I hope that guy wins his lawsuit against them, and I hope that Hernandez is never allowed to carry a weapon again in his life, because if he is, then people are in danger, and I definitely don't want to be living in the same town as him. They need to post up all the bad cops from everywhere else and stop letting them get jobs in different departments, because that's what they do. They just go to a different department. They move to a different city. They go to a different department, and they get hired, and they go through all the stuff all over again, which is pretty easy because it's only a couple of weeks. They go through it, they do it. Training notwithstanding. See how he was holding that gun? Sideways. It's like GTA out there. Ain't nobody did nothing to you, Gangstalicious. You all right? Well, so much for that today. It is time to move on to the next part of our story. We got stuff to do today. We got to keep it moving. In the next part of our story, we have a issue that is been developing in the Black community once again. Every time that we seem to get past this issue, it seems to pop back up, and that is Black self-hatred. I just don't understand how you can hate yourself because of what you were born as, or how you can perpetrate stereotypes about yourself and people that look like you because of the way you were born. I don't get it one bit. I don't. I'm Black. Yeah, I have mixtures in me, as we all do. You know, our country has been a melting pot for a long time. Most people don't know where their real origins are, and you have some semblance of understanding where they are. You grasp onto a story that grandma told you or whatever, and you go with it. And you continue to go, and you envelop yourself in that culture to feel closer to that culture, and you visit that country, and You try to feel something while you're there, and then you come home and say, well, I was enlightened. Now I'm at home. I saw a lot of things while I was away. That's what you do. That's what I do anyway. We're gonna listen to some guys talk about black self-hatred and what causes it, and we're gonna dive into it a little bit. So let's go ahead and get it going.
I'm fucking like a victim of it too. I'm gonna tell y'all something. White people, you wanna know black people's Achilles heel? I think you guys already know too. We are honestly the most forgiving culture on earth. I don't know why. I don't understand it. I don't fucking get it. Like, we will forgive everyone for everything. And I don't understand that shit, all right? Because there's moments when I'm like, and it's funny because we'll forgive everyone except niggas. It's the wildest shit ever, all right? So, Kanye says,
wait, sorry. Do you think that has a lot to do with self-hate?
Yes, 100%.
And self-hate instilled by these other people?
Yeah, 100%.
That's crazy, man.
100. This is why it's so psychologically like draining, because it's like, it took me, because I was a person, I'm gonna be honest, I was a person before I got like maybe 2021. I was a person who was like, look, I have black friends, I have Hispanic friends, I have Asian friends or whatever. To keep it a bean with you, to keep it a whole buck or whatever, like, I'm kind of 50-50 on racism. Because I'm like, for me, I get around just fine. You know what I mean? So it wasn't until I had to realize that, wait a minute, your grandparents have been training you for this shit your whole life. You did go through racism. You just fucking, you compartmentalized it and you fucking flushed it away because it didn't happen.
Yep.
But you did have like your fucking birth certificate stolen when you played Little League. You did have people try to kick you off the team because they thought you were fucking 15, 16 when you were fucking 12. All right.
Yep.
You did have people whose kids' parents would tell the coach that if their kid didn't play over me, that they were gonna take the kid off the team. When I was the best player on the team, he's not gonna sit me.
So it was shielded from you?
Yes. And people would lie to me, right? My grandpa would never, which, like, I love my grandpa to death. He was a person who he would tell me shit in bits and pieces. Because I feel like he knew my mind. And like every time I did something good, he'd be like, hey, all right, now, you got that curveball, nice. And he was like, he'd be like, but you missed a couple of other pitches, you gotta stay in on that. I'm like, all right, cool. He never allowed me to get like this, and this. And then like he'll tell me some shit where it was like, if I was having a bad like game or some shit, he'll be like, man, he was like, those other coaches over there talking about you, they were saying like that you're like the best athlete they've seen in years. And I'd be like, oh, okay, that's dope. Lifted my spirits. That was it. He wouldn't go more on that, right? Yeah. My grandma was different. All right. My grandma, she would tell me like the real hard shit that I didn't want, like, wasn't I didn't want to hear, but I was just like, I don't know. Like, she'll tell me like, she was the first one to be like, my birth certificate got stolen.
What's good, Sco? How
like,
you doing, man?
Motherfuckers. Like, and I was like, what? Why? I'm like, it's my birth certificate. Who cares? And she was like, nah, baby, you don't understand. She was like, they chose you out of all the motherfuckers up there. Like, everybody birth certificate, they have to show proof of their age, and yours ends up fucking missing. I got kicked out of a game in Little League. I got kicked out for after I hit the ball, tossing my bat towards the dugout, which everyone did. I got kicked out for it though. Meanwhile, the other team was throwing the bats towards like us, like on my teammates pitching. They would throw it like outwards, but I got kicked out. Right? Goes
Every
back
time.
to the shit I'm talking about. Right?
Every time.
Fucking Bancroft almost got almost like Bancroft. So my middle school, I almost got expelled because one of my friends did some bullshit, lied and said I did it. This white assistant principal or whatever, and the whole white fucking staff or whatever were like so enraged that they just didn't even look at the cameras or in the locker room from what he did. And because he said my first name and using a fucking different last name and whatever, they tried to get me fucking expelled. He had already had all the paperwork. I was done at that school.
So you got to ask, right? You got to ask yourself the question here. You got to say, is this an ingrained thing with people? Or when you see a black guy walking on the street, do you move to the other side of the road? Do you grab your bag a little bit tighter? Do you just think that just because I saw a black guy that he's probably a problem, especially if he looks athletic? Is it better safe than sorry? Or when something goes wrong, let's say that something bad actually happens. Are we going to blame black people for it? Are we going to say that this isn't a human thing? Because the way that it seems is like black people are villainized and demonized every time something happens, regardless of guilt or not. And it's already assumed that they're the guilty party. I don't think that's fair. And then to have that coming from black people themselves makes it even worse, because it's like, okay, yeah, there is accountability things that are going on, but at the same time, without finding any of the evidence, you're going to automatically deem that these black people were in the wrong. This happens all over the place. If you guys remember the Juneteenth thing with the folding chairs a couple of years ago, the original report that came out was that there was a black riot, only to find out from video surveillance that it wasn't a black riot at all. It was people defending themselves against people who attacked them. I think you have a right to defend yourself against attackers in this country, especially when the attackers don't stop. Unless I don't know, you're black or brown or beige or just too tan for people's liking, I guess.
All I needed was all my teachers to fucking sign off on it. All my minority teachers didn't sign off on the shit. I had Mr. Vo, Miss Din, I think another Hispanic teacher, and then I had Miss Batista too. But in Miss fucking Batista's defense, she married an Asian, so she was white, but she had some soul too, and I love it. So like, you know what I mean? Like, but this white man wanted my ass, right? You know what I mean? This is again. Now I'm like, oh, this is racism. Of course, going to Bancroft also was around white people for the first time, and it was super racist, right?
Super shocking, man.
Super shockingly racist. And I had to, come to grips with that, right? So it wasn't until I was like 20 where I was like, okay, cool. I understand I'm black. I understand that people are afraid of me for this, and this reason. I could either A, fucking choose to ignore it and try to live my life as like, no, I'm an upstanding citizen, or B, I can realize that I'm black and say, you know what, fuck it. I'm trying to help my people and help my family and try to fucking do what I can to help other black people and other minorities, because at the end of the day, we all fucked when it comes to white people, right? I chose the latter. Some people don't do that. Some people will continue to go on and be like, nah, there's nothing, there is no like racism. I don't believe in that shit. My sister, from one of those people, she's one of those people. My older sister, she doesn't believe a lot of the things that happens, even when it happens to like me. She just won't believe it. For her, it's like,
No, they never want to believe it. The people never want to believe what happens to you. They never do. There's been so many times in my life something crazy has happened to me, or the fact that I was getting pulled over every day leaving one of my jobs a few years ago. Well, what are you doing to get pulled over? I'm like, I don't know. I'm leaving my job and I'm going home. Are you getting tickets? No. What do? They ask me for my license and my registration every single day. There was one time in particular that I got pulled over by the same officer 2 days in a row, right? And I knew that this was going to happen. I prepared for it because the insurance card that I gave him that night, it was probably around 11 o'clock. He tried to wait as long as possible to end this traffic stop because the very next day was the end of my insurance on this card. He tried to wait. And so he dragged it out till about 11:45. He asked me, could he search the car? I'm like, no, there's no probable cause. You can't search my car. The thing is, if you ask, I'm going to say no. Don't ask. Get a warrant if you really want to search my car, especially if I haven't done anything wrong. So he had to let me go. It was around 11:45. The very next day, he pulls me over again. And he has a big smile on his face because he thinks he's got me. Nope. I had the next insurance card ready before he even pulled up to the car. Like before he even walked up to the car. I pulled out I had my phone sitting there on my dashboard, and I was like, here you go, man. Here's it. And my license was sitting on top of my phone. So he grabbed them both at the same time. And he's looking at this and he's like, you had different insurance yesterday. I'm like, I didn't have different insurance. I had a different card. And he goes, why is that? I'm like, if you look at the card from yesterday, it expired yesterday. And he goes, yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying you got a new insurance card. You got it that fast? And I'm like, doesn't everyone? I've been with the same insurance company for over a decade. So obviously I'm going to have, a new card immediately because why would I switch my insurance company? If I'm paying what I'm paying and I don't mind paying it, and it's going to be easy for me to just stay with the same insurance company, why am I going to shop it around? Especially if it only took 1 day, literally. 1 day. This dude held me for another 30 minutes, tried to verify my insurance. Like, well, I'm going to call the number. Call the number. Waste your time if you want to. That officer probably pulled me over once a week until I moved away from that town. And it's funny. There's people that's going to corroborate that. So it starts to get to be a little bit weird when we start to do it to ourselves, though.
It's just strange coincidences or instances of like bad luck. It's not clearly what the fuck it is, right? She doesn't want to believe it because for her, she's always been like, again, I also get it. She's always been the girl who's been liked. And I was like, you also portray an image of someone who is not from where you're from. So they don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so when it comes to like the Kanyes, the Daniel Caesars and shit, we gotta let those people go. Even I'm as far as saying to my sister too. I'll let my sister go. Like, if she was like, you know what, if it's like some sort of like fucking, all right, look, we on this side. Either you gonna be on this side or you gonna be on the outskirts of this shit and be like with them. She's like, oh, I'm gonna be with them. Cool, not gonna say. Because we gonna get what we gotta get. We gotta stop trying to fucking forgive and change niggas. Because that's all we do. That's all we fucking do.
Well, that's because most forgiveness isn't real anyway. It's actually extremely difficult to forgive somebody. And it's been proven through different types of psychology experiments that forgiveness is not what you think it is. You say, okay, well, I'm going to forgive you. You transgressed. You never forgot about it. If you did forget about it, it's probably going to happen again. I'm just being honest. The best way to quote unquote forgive is to acknowledge and move on and make recompense. If you are allowed to make recompense, then make recompense, and then that's the version of forgiveness that you get. But they didn't forget that you did it. And if you messed up again, they can either drop you or make you make recompense again. So I'm not really sure what this forgiveness looks like. I don't think I've ever really seen it. Not real.
All year. Niggas say some wild shit, or it's clear that he is not with the team, all right?
So it only in cases like what these people said. Like, it has to be that blatant.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't have to be that blatant.
No, because I completely feel like there is complete moles and like double agents in all this shit. And people just don't want to fucking say it. But there is.
Okay, just from a scale from what we were talking about earlier, a scale from Gambino just hiding the fact that his girl happens to be whatever she is, to what Daniel Caesar just did. From like that scale, like where does it like you let him go?
Caesar's clearly gone.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm keeping Gambino. Me personally. But of course, if it's a vote, he probably won't get on the fucking vote. He's probably gone.
Yeah.
If it's a vote and it's like, mind you, now it's been some time. So people probably then forgot about the shit. Back when it first happened, if they said vote, that nigga was off the boat. He was off the boat.
Just for that. Huh?
And that's the bullshit of all this shit, right? Because this is why we can never like centralize anything when it comes to being black and trying to get something focused and get something initiated, because there's a sector of the black people who are like extra black, right? Them niggas is like, nah, fuck that, fuck this. I don't fuck with nothing that ain't black. I fucking buy black, I bank black, I fucking school black. And it's like, cool, all right? That's fine. The fucking Killer Mikes of the world, right? That's fine. That's awesome. Okay? But then they turn their nose up to other black people who are like, all right, I'm with it. But hey, you know, I got some white friends, you know, whatever, or like I grew up with some people or whatever. They're like, nah, fuck that. You gotta only be with us. Now it's a separation. Some people are like,
I mean, that's an even bigger part of this conversation. It's even bigger part of this conversation. You have people who are upset because black people have friends that aren't black, or date people that aren't black. And it's like, okay, well, what are we trying to do here? Are we mad at them because they dated somebody or because they are friends with somebody who isn't black? What if that person's just a safe person to be around? What if that person has the right type of connections that person needs to move forward because the black community didn't have them? And what if they mean genuinely well for your people and your community? What about that? What if they do? See, we're policing ourselves in a way that doesn't make any sense. We're policing ourselves at unfair standards in a way that nobody else does. So we're going to be intentionally difficult on ourselves. We're going to be intentionally difficult on others, and everyone's going to be intentionally difficult on us. It's a threefold problem that we have. Anytime that you are going to hold yourself to a much higher standard than everyone else around you, you're going to face some type of penalties for it, whether it be losses or repercussions, because you're the one that is quote unquote holding the line. Anytime, because nobody else does it. No one else does it. And that's in so many different fields. That's not even just about dating. That's not even just about black culture. That's not even just about, you know, the YouTube spaces. And speaking of the YouTube spaces, we have a plethora of people who would much rather grift from you and take from you and tell you to hate your own types and hate your own kind, and everybody is garbage because they don't like themselves. And I'm going to show you right now what this is all about.
I'll never be part of the MAGA family, and that I'm black, I'll never be accepted, but he just got my vote. Nah, that's crazy. Like, I love MAGA Nation, I love the MAGA family, and that breaks my heart that someone would speak to me like that right after the election, that all I was a vote. Nah, I love all you guys, and I know most of you MAGA family members are not racist, and I love you guys, and I'll keep repping MAGA Nation, Trump 2024, but that really broke my heart that some guy would say that. extremely heartbroken.
That brother right there is too far gone. Now today we're going to do a deep dive into black conservatives. Now I'm not going to lie to y'all, I am very new to this political thing. I just learned out what a conservative was. I just learned out what a liberal is. Bear with me. I was seeing some people in my comments talking about you're pushing far left agenda. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm just pro-black. Anything that helps my people, I'm supporting it. And as I was doing research, I did note that like some of the left ideas like agree with what I'm saying, and the conservative ideas is just like it ain't got nothing to do with pro-blackness. So no. Now the first black conservative that I want to discuss is Officer Tatum. He's a huge conservative YouTuber that pulls in massive views. And one thing that I've noticed is that if you're a black person and you're a conservative and you make videos degrading black folks, you're gonna be making that bread.
So we found a motive. I knew we were gonna get here at this point today. We found a motive. There is an extreme motive for telling other black people about themselves, especially when it's not accurate. There's an extreme motive for telling black people that they're broke. There's an extreme motive for telling black people, y'all got to do something different. There's an extreme motive for trying to tell black people to vote against their own predilections. And pretty much anything that can help them. Y'all don't want no help. Y'all don't, what you need their help for? So it's cool. The president in this administration can spend $2 billion a day on an illegal war, but anytime a black person says we need more college funding, we need more infrastructure, we need to be able to have this, the parks aren't clean, we don't have our own pool systems, we don't have a water park for the kids in the summertime, everything is rusty inside of the public park areas that we have, or there's gang violence and you can't use the bathrooms are never open. Blah, 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 blah. We don't have good streets, sanitation, clean water in Flint. I mean, anytime that black people start saying that, hey, we need our tax dollars to work for us too, people have a problem with it. Tell them to stop being lazy, to get up off their asses and go get jobs. They have jobs. They've been working. They've been working this entire time. At one point in time, they were working for free. Does anybody want to challenge me on that? I hope not. But this is what we deal with. So then what happens is you get the black grifter who comes along and says, hey, I know how to reach these people. Tell them that we suck and that we should conform to all these ideals that this other side is conforming to. And if we do, then we're going to be better. Blame black people for everything. Every time you get the chance, blame a black person. McKinnon said, white people will pay a premium to degrade people who are not white. They could be dying of thirst and have a quarter left and will give it away to hear, why are black people always complaining? And that's the truth. That's the truth. They will. Well, black people, they don't like this. Black people, why don't they do something for themselves? Why don't they rebuild their own cities? Why don't they take care of the west side and the east side and the south side? Why is it that they want to be upset about the people on the north side? Why don't they go to college? Not mentioning that, by percentage, black people are the most educated people in the country. By college percentage, especially black women. Are we just going to discount that didn't happen? That's not a thing? Are we going to pretend today? I don't feel like pretending today. I want to keep it based in reality. You got these fat, out of shape, incel losers who girls never liked in the first place. Get on the screen and tell all the black people that they're not going to do anything with themselves and they need to be better, blah, 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 and that they're rich and you're not rich, and all their money came from YouTube. All their money came from first white donators and then black people who fancy themselves better than other black people. So one of the things that I hate the most, I hate when someone will say something to me or try to compliment me, and the compliment sounds like this. Well, you're not like the rest of them. You're better than the rest of them. You're awesome. Why can't there be more like you? That's not a compliment. That's one of the biggest insults you can ever give me and my people. Why would you say something like that? I would never say that about you. I would never say that about you or anybody that you're around. Why would that even come to your mind? Racism has a lot to do with it. McKinnon said, you're one of the good ones. You see what I'm talking about? Like, look how degrading that sounds. Oh, you're one of the good ones. So you're implying that the majority of them are bad. All right, let's see what's going on with the black grifter.
the CIA planted drugs in our communities?
They didn't make you sell it.
Do you think they?
No. I agree.
Do you think they
I've
burned
read
down
stories of how
black
the CIA,
businesses? Do you know what Black Hollywood is?
Let's go one at a time. I've heard stories that the CIA planted drugs in the inner city communities. Not every black community, but in some. They still don't make you go and sell drugs to your brother, do they?
You didn't have to sell it. I mean, he is right. I ain't gonna lie. All jokes aside, man, desperation makes you do crazy things. When it's
he didn't ask me. That's what the problem was. He didn't ask me. You didn't have to sell it. Well, let me ask you a question. If you didn't have to sell it, what were some of the other options that he had in his neighborhood that didn't have any opportunities in liquor stores on every corner? Sometimes 2 liquor stores right next to each other. Does anybody know? Does anybody know what the guy's options were? Poor public schooling system, poor family, bills that continue to rise faster than the rate of even minimum wage. And even non-minimum wage workers, like, they get it real bad too. The union workers get it bad. Like, people are really getting it bad in the workforce. What opportunities did they have? Did they have a bunch of scouts that were coming out to all of their schools to witness them play sports in the excellent fashion that they do? Or did they have people that were standing on the corner saying, hey, look, man, you got to feed your grandma. Your daddy ain't here. You got to feed your grandma. Your mama needs to be taken care of. People are buying drugs anyway and using drugs anyway. But also, here's the thing. Let's talk about the rate of mortality, right? So we're talking about drug use and drug selling. You do know that the other community that has more money buys and sells more drugs than all of the street pushers combined, right? How do you think they got here? What inner city kid from, let's just say, Chicago has a plane or a boat to get Aaron, which is H-Ron, or cocaine from Mexico? Most of them don't even have passports. So how are they going to go meet cartel members to get these rugs, designer rugs? How are they going to do that? Nobody has an answer. Does anyone in the chat have an answer to how the people in the inner city get foreign contraband in the inner city when they don't have rugs, planes, boats? Most of them don't even have cars. Most of them take public transportation. How are they getting these things? How are they meeting these people? They don't have passports. They don't speak the languages. How are they making these contacts with these cartel members to get this product? Oh, maybe it's not them. Maybe they're not the ones that are funneling the stuff through. Well, they didn't have to sell it. Well, I mean, they wouldn't have had the option to sell it if you didn't bring it here, right? Oh, let's just escape culpability there. See, there's a couple things that I believe in this life. I believe that there are some things that you can cut off at the beginning, and there are some things that you can cut off at the end. But it's way easier to cut them off at the beginning, so none of the other stuff happens. None of the other effects from the cause happens. Just stop the cause, and there'll be no effects. If you can stop it from ever getting here, nobody sells it, nobody uses it. Oh, but if you stop it from getting here, then the people who are funding their private ventures, they start to lose money, and it's really about their bottom line, isn't it? Okay, let's move on.
no jobs in the neighborhood, everything's run down to the ground, the government redlined the area, desperate times calls for desperate measures. I'm not advocating selling drugs, but why even do something as evil as tempting people like that? Like, it's like tempting a person that's starving with a little bit of bread. Like, they're going to get it.
Whites are more likely to commit crimes against children. Whites are more likely to commit crimes against co-workers. Whites are more likely to commit crimes against individuals who are inside of their families. Now, that is also from FBI.gov, but are you using that as a pretext? Are you using that as a pretext to follow all white people and think that they are child molesters or about to commit a crime against
you're trying to, the FBI statistics are on conviction rates. The FBI homicide statistics.
No, it is not, brother. You need damn
people
stats.
can go out and do the research.
Not based on conviction rates,
People can go out and do the research for themselves.
They sure
the
can.
Research that I've seen, the homicide rates, you could call it the murder or homicide rates, depending on how you want to frame it, are convictions. So
So as you can see, he's just following up the racist, white supremacist ideology that black people commit more crime. I've already did a video on this topic, but I'm going to leave the article down below where you can see that it says arrest, Arrests, not convictions. It's crazy that he has this huge platform but can't do the proper research to see that his fallacy is wrong. Now we off Tatum, man. It's time to move on to the next raccoon. Rob Smith. Now off the bat, look.
Before we even go to Rob Smith, let's just talk about this. If you think in 2025 that 13% of the population is committing 60% or more of the crimes, you probably failed math class every year, or you cheated. Just look at the numbers. Tell me the numbers make sense or don't make sense. But here's the thing about this, right? If you are disproportionately patrolling one group of people over other groups of people, you're going to find more problems, or you're going to create them. I've done this before. No need to go back into that.
Don't tell me I'm lying. He looked just like Tom from the Boondocks, bro.
Black fatigue is real. Everybody is tired of black people, but it's two specific types of black people that everyone is tired of. Number one, everybody is tired of loud, ghetto, and ratchet, and violent, and mean, and angry all the time. Everybody is tired of them. No.
Is that you too, sir? No? Okay. All right. I'm just making sure.
Nobody wants to deal with them. Even other black people do not want to deal with these people. You know when you see them in public, you know when they're going to give you attitude at the CVS. Everybody knows it and they want to avoid it. The second group of black people that everybody is tired of is this sort of like fake black bougie intelligentsia who kind of like walks around telling everybody how they're supposed to think or speak.
Anytime I see a black person making black...
Wait, isn't that what he's doing right now? Let's go back and check this out. Isn't this what he's doing right now? Isn't this fake black bougie? Got the naked face. You know, you got the fade without the fade. You know, a neutral color on that, you know, evokes that he's a non-threatening, walking around in Miami or something, or California, one of the two. Where else I got palm trees at, yo?
Intelligentsia who kind of like walks around telling everybody how they're supposed to think or speak.
Anytime I see a black person making black fatigue videos, it just screams pick me. For one, that is not what black fatigue means. Even if you acted like a black person and not an N-word, they would still view you the same. And if you don't believe me, check out this video right here of Rob, bro. This is what the people he support did to him.
Oh, so here we go. Man, he got all the teeth out. I don't even know how they make this face. This is the first time that I've done this, and I can honestly say I kind of see why he does it. Look at the way that I'm able to enunciate with my jaw retracted. Whoa, I really wish they weren't blurring it out, beeping it out. I really wish they weren't doing that, because at this point I would love to know what they were actually saying. Wouldn't you guys? Wouldn't you guys love to know what they were actually saying right now? It's F that something. And after the things that he keeps talking about all the time, I can only imagine that it would have something to do with, I don't know, integers? Maybe? Integers. Ninjas?
These white supremacists absolutely do exist in this party. We all saw me face them from face to face. I'm looking at soulless, dead-eyed white supremacists that, by the way, I felt that these people could have bashed my brains in had they gotten the chance.
You see what I mean, bro? If you're black, it don't matter. You could be conservative all you want. They still look at you as a nigga. We're going to move on from Rob, man. Hopefully this situation woke him up. It didn't, by the way. He's still making videos trashing black folks. The next set of conservatives I want to talk about are the Hodge twins. And man, bro, I used to really watch their content when I was young. And I would have never thought they turned out this way. And if we're being honest, I always felt that they would like pivot to maybe doing movies or just doing something big because they always had that personality. Maybe around like 2016, 17, I believe once Trump started running, they turned into full conservative YouTubers. They seen that them talking down on black folks brings in the cash. Now, I know everybody heard about this situation of the all-white town in Arkansas. The Hodge twins did a reaction to it. This is what they had to say.
To be honest, I don't want to live in the United States of America if it's not majority white. Once it becomes majority non-white, it's gonna be a much different country. It's gonna be a much different country. Well, that's just a fact. If you look at if you just look at voting statistics, how ethnicities other than white vote, this country would be totally different. So I understand the fear of white people wanting to live in a country that's majority non-white.
Wait. You what? People moved to a country that was non-white, eliminated a group of people who were non-white to make themselves the majority. And then when indigenous populations begin to recover and mix in with other stolen indigenous populations, they have a problem with it? Let's see what.
And I understand that fear wholeheartedly because I don't want to live in a country that's majority non-white because it would systematically change our country.
Hell yeah, America need to stay white. Yeah. Well, guess what, y'all? The Hodge twins hit up the owner on Twitter. He said, "Hey, Arville, I know your community is whites only, but could you make an exception for 2 Negroes? We're not even full sub-Saharan.
Wow. Could you imagine trying to ingratiate yourself to people that don't like you? I couldn't imagine trying to ingratiate myself to people that don't like me. I like people who like me. That's disgusting.
Look, I promise I'm not slow. We're not even full sub-Saharan. We're over 40% white." Y'all want to know what Arvo said? God bless the Hodge twins. But no.
They didn't want you either. Your 40% wasn't enough for them. Their 40% whiteness was not good enough for this community because we're not even full sub-Saharan. What are you talking about? We got 40% white, you know? Yep. We're not even full Negro. We're mulattoes. Yeah. We favor your side. Yes, we do.
Listen, no matter how much you tap dance, you gonna still be a nigga. You could be in the house, but you still gonna be a nigga.
Better off as black people now than we were before LBJ passed those policies.
Yes, brother, we can vote without the threat of violence. Are you talking about the Civil Rights Act of 1964? Is that what you're describing as a negative thing?
I'm not saying the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was, I'm talking about...
That's LBJ. I just want to be clear. That's LBJ who you said, were we better off before LBJ? LBJ signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
I'm talking about the war on poverty.
I just want to answer that one.
Wait, so you don't even know exactly what you're talking about when you say these things. You're conflating issues that didn't really have much to do with each other. Okay, let me listen a little bit. Stop judging, Cortez.
Answer that specific one first. Was the Civil Rights Act of 1964 bad thing?
I agree with the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Thank you.
But at the same time, I'm also put like this. I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery.
I don't know what that means.
I'd rather deal with the dangerous freedom of not knowing and controlling people with policies as much as possible versus the peaceful slavery of being married and tied to the government.
Big shout out to the interviewer, man. I don't know how he held his composure. His name is Garrison Hayes, by the way. Amazing speaker, man. I want to get on his level one day, bro. Like, hey, he's the GOAT. But that's gonna be the video, man. I hope y'all enjoy, bro. I just want to say, y'all.
Look, I don't understand this one bit. There's nothing that y'all can tell me to convince me that trying to align myself with issues that work against my blackness in any way is a good idea. You know, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. You have all of these people that routinely want you to hate yourself. Now, I get one to live in a nice area and get away from a problematic area. I totally understand that. There's nothing wrong. If you were born in the hood, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you of not wanting to stay there. There's nothing wrong with it. I understand the things that happen because the people in the hood are underprivileged. I understand what the things that happen because the people in the hood are generally undereducated, not due to themselves, but because the public school system and where most of these hoods are is not adequate form of education. They're working on sharing books, not having electronic materials, not having the technology, not having enough teachers, having too many kids in the classroom, so not enough focus is being put on it. And you say, "Oh, it's their fault. It's their fault. It's their fault." Well, if you go to a suburban school that's also a public school, they have a tremendous more amount of money, despite the fact that they have less people to educate these students. These students get programs. These students get the after-school programs too. That you have individual counselors that take over individual blocks of students. You might have one counselor for an entire student body in the city. Why is that? Especially on certain sides. Oh, it's about their funding. They don't have any money. What are you talking about? They don't have any money. Systemically, they don't have any money. How are you going to change that? Are you going to take the government funds that are being taxed and push them into it because the city as a whole? Or are you going to say, well, this side of the city gets this, that side of the city gets that? And that's generally what happens just about everywhere. It's a crapshoot as to why all of this goes on. But to try to point at the people who are the ones that are underprivileged as it being their fault, something's probably wrong with you, especially if you were one of them. I have never, ever in my life thought that. So I'll give you guys a little quick synopsis of what's going on here, right? Being someone who was from the city, someone whose family lived in the city, someone who grew up living in the city, but with the suburban schools, I learned the difference between my education and the people who, when I left the town to come back to the city, how they were educated. I didn't think it was fair back then. They didn't know anything about most of the stuff that I was talking about. We're not even talking about just history. We're talking about stuff like calculus, certain types of geometry, scientific methods. I said the word hypotenuse once and I got clowned. What type of animal is that, bro? That's not a failure of the student. That's a failure of the teacher. That's a failure of the institution. And ultimately, it's a failure of the government that funds the institution. What we got in the comments right now? What's going on, Uncle Plug? What's going on? Cassie said, as a parent of children who go to low-income school district, we don't have the benefits of schools that are in better areas. See, you understand. You understand. Come on now. And all the while, the cities will put another casino in, allow another liquor store license, dispensaries, in a lot of these places. Uncle Plug said the American dream is only an advertisement. That's the facts. That's the facts. There's nothing that we could do about that. I'm not saying don't move to a nicer suburb to get your kids away from any of the danger or the harm. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that it's the city's responsibility to change things at an education level. And that's where it starts at. It starts at education. But I'm going to tell you, we're running out of time for that, guys. We are running out of time for the education section. So you guys better get big on the survival section because that's what's coming. I could go on about the black grifter all day. As you guys know, I did a whole video about black grifting. Maybe I can show you a little bit of it. And we can talk about it. But we do have another video after this. But I'll do a little bit. I'll show you a little video on the black grifter so we can see what I'm talking about. Because I just think that it's a subject that we need to hit a little bit harder each and every day. Let's go.
France and Romania might do the same. The EU. So
I implore you to go out and do some research on the things that will actually help you. And a lot of them are very simple. It's plants. It's plants. Whether you like it or not. I'm not telling you not to have a steak every now and then. I'm not telling you not to enjoy a juicy burger every now and then. I'm just saying that this is where it's going. And I guarantee you that they plan it before you ever get to. Let's move on. There you go. Whoa, 99% of what we spend money on as Black people is spent outside the Black community. What does that tell you? Does it mean that Black people have a shortage in manufacturing? Does it mean that Black people have a shortage in mentality? Is the mentality is that what they're wearing is better than what we are wearing and what we're creating? Is the mentality that we don't have enough creation? I want to know. Give me you guys' opinions. This isn't just for me to yell at you. I want to know what you Black people think. And white people too. And Asian people and anybody else. You tell me what you think. Before we even get going, we had a comment from Passport Scope or International Scope now. He said Black people will get no further than they are right now because all they want to do is hate on one another and think they have ops when the real op is themselves. And I can't disagree with him. I can't disagree with him at all. You have to reformulate your mind in order to break these generational curses and these chains that are still there. The physical chains are gone. And I think they understood that when they let them go. The physical chains are gone, but the mental chains have lasted for generations. And he even said it's easier for us to help each other than versus ourselves. And it is. It is. I don't understand why we can't help each other when we're right next to each other all the time. Oh, like I said before, you don't want to see that person have more shine than you. That's terrible, isn't it?
Not know how to keep it. The Black dollar stays in our community for 6 hours while it stays in the Asian community for 28 days.
Well, it's actually a couple of things. For one, we could seem that we're rude and it's not all about good
collaboration. Is
that's a problem. Why am I spending my money with you and you're too sensitive to even take the criticism necessary needed?
Is that it's so expensive, which I can understand. Certain people or certain places, they kind of hit you over the head with price.
Hating. That's what I can think of is hating, just because of the fact that they see one person doing their thing. It's hard for them to congratulate them.
There has to be a reason why Black owned are the only businesses that are blackballed by their own community. You don't.
And that's a big part right there. You just heard from a couple different people that have looked at you and told you that they don't like buying from Black people at all for a list of reasons. Most of those reasons that I heard looked arbitrary. I think that a lot of you would agree that those reasons were very arbitrary. I don't like how they looked at me. But you don't like how anybody looks at you. You don't like how the man at the gas station looks at you. You don't like how the lady at the nail salon looks at you. You don't like how the lady in the beauty supply store looks at you. You don't like how anybody looks at you. I don't even know why you go outside at that point. But here's a problem. If the Black dollar spends 8 minutes in the Black community versus the Asian dollar spending 28 days in this community, that's where a wealth disparity is created. If Black Americans as a collective have made double what they made the previous year before this one, but we've lost our spending power by 14%, it's because we are not investing in ourselves. Every time I look around, Black people trying to get away from Black people. Every time I look around, I can't wait to move away from these, ninjas. I can't wait. I'm gonna move to the suburbs. I'm gonna get in a high-rise penthouse or something. Can't wait to get away from these ninjas. I do understand that there are crime-ridden areas that you should want to get away from, but there are better ways to do it. Again, Black millionaires, there's nothing stopping you from buying entire blocks in the hood. There's nothing stopping you from doing so and renovating it and gentrifying it yourself. Imagine if you had a group of 5 or 6 Black people who all were millionaires and you got together and you bought 15 or 20 city blocks because the houses are dilapidated, because they're rental properties. See, there's companies from Georgia that came up to Illinois and bought a whole lot of property, rental homes, townhouses, apartment complexes. They bought them and they raised the rents in Illinois. So the Illinois rent has continued to skyrocket, double and triple what it was just 2 years ago, because another state or a foreign company came in and bought the real estate in the areas that we live in. And there's only 2 things that are happening. Either they're raising the rent or they're putting data centers where you live, taking your power and your water and making the air quality less clean all over again. We saw this in the 30s. We saw this in the 40s. We saw this in the 50s. We saw this in the 60s. We saw this in the 70s. We saw this in the 80s. Not so much in the 90s because Black people just decided to step up in the 90s. Hey, if you didn't live in the 90s, you missed out on a lot. There was a lot of stuff going on for us Black people in the 90s. Black people came up a lot in the 90s. And then in the 2000s, they decided to regress. And now we're here where a guy who looks like me can look at you and say, I don't want to live around other Black people. Oh, my neighbors is white with 2 T's. I can afford it. I'm going to spend my money. I got it like that. I got the Coogee and the Fendi and the Louis V and the... Shut up. Shut up. It don't make no sense for you to be talking about all of these Italian companies when we have Black designers who are just as good or not better. So shut up.
Shut your stupid ass up. Shut up, folks.
Yeah, I know that we had some issues in the black community with people abusing their power, but for a while we had a lot. And in the late 90s and early 2000s, we had a whole bunch of black brands that were coming out like FUBU and Sean John. I know. Don't jump down my throat about that one. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Do not jump down my throat about no Sean and his magical combs.
That's blah blah gay sex, blah blah Congress.
That's all you talk about, Cortez. All you talk about is
blah blah gay sex, blah blah Congress.
I talked about Congress. I didn't intentionally talk about the other thing. That's just what Sean and his magical combs does. You know, I'm just saying.
Shit, Negro, that's all you had to say.
Don't try to tell me about the designer outfits and clothing that you wear when you can't support your own people. Don't do it. I had a conversation with a content creator that was on here, if you can call him that, and he told me that I had a broke mindset because I want to help people. How is wanting to help people having a broke mindset? If I had all the money, then I would be using all the money to make other people have money, because I'm guaranteeing you there's a kid in the hood right now who could solve the cancer problem. There's a kid in the hood right now who could have solved the COVID problem. There's a kid right now who could solve the engineering crisis that we've been having or the energy crisis that we've been having, but they do not have the funding. They do not have the opportunity. And what do? They become lost to the streets because they do not have the funding. And it's very important, because the people who do have the funding end up like Elon Musk. He had the funding to do whatever he wanted to do, whenever he wanted to do it. And most of his stuff doesn't even work, but he had the funding and he had the ability to go out and do it. The same thing with Jeff Bezos, the same thing with Bill Gates. These guys had the funding. They had the money behind them. They had people that believed in them. You guys wouldn't believe it. I would be a tech billionaire right now, multi-billionaire right now, because I invented your tablets. Put it on record right here. I invented your tablets. In the 2nd grade, I didn't have any funding. Everyone thought it was funny. Everyone thought it was a joke to see this little kid trying to build a tablet computer when everyone was just starting to get laptops. I said, why can't it be small? Why can't it be flat? And why can't you put it in your pocket? Next thing you know, we all got these. So that just goes to show you that there's probably a million people that had the same idea that I did, because they were tech nerds, geeks, whatever you want to call them. They just didn't have the funding. Now imagine if someone had the funding for these ideas, how you could change the black community. You could keep money in the black community. The NAACP isn't doing enough. They aren't. The United Negro College Fund, they're not doing enough. Why aren't they doing enough? Because we're not giving them the money to do it. We're not funding them. HBCU is losing their football teams. HBCU is losing their bands because they don't have the funding. You do realize that the STEM program is very important, and we should put kids in it. They have schools specifically designed for it. I know in Illinois, there's a school called IMSA, the Illinois Math and Science Academy, that you could put your high school age kids in, and they would live there on the campus, and they do STEM all day. Illinois Math and Science Academy. They do it all day long, every single day for school. How many of you people knew that? How many of you people knew that most of the military schools teach lots of different engineering classes as well as STEM? How many people knew that? Maybe you should put your kids in those schools instead of trying to send them to school to be, I don't know, a basketball player, knowing that they're only 5'6". Well, he loves basketball. He's going to be the next Spud Webb. That is almost statistically impossible. Almost. Not going to tell him it's not possible, because anything is possible. But let's keep it real here. They would be much better served in their future if they didn't have to struggle because they got a STEM job because they were the best and most qualified for it, without having to prove against some 6'7" sophomore in high school who's only going to be 7'3" later on. Ask me how I know. No, I'm not 5'6". I'm a little bit taller than that. You know, a couple inches here, over, up there. You know, but it's what I'm saying. I was not a basketball player's height. Just keep it 100. I wasn't a basketball player's height. I enjoyed playing the game. I had a good time. I built some friendships through it, but it wasn't my thing. That's why I moved on to other sports. And as you can see, I've done pretty good for myself when it comes to being in other sports, because I redirected my focus. Let's redirect our focus back to what they're talking about.
I don't see this sort of attitude in other ethnic communities. Could it be because of systemic oppression, personal irresponsibility?
Guys, that's part of a series that I was doing called the Black Grifter Fatigue. So it isn't Black fatigue anymore. It's Black Grifter Fatigue, because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of Black people blaming each other or saying, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? How are you going to judge yourself and what you do in life by what I've done? Just say you don't want to do anything. Just say you're lazy. Just say you're selfish. Those are way easier than saying, well, what are you doing? What are they doing? What's that person doing? Worry about yourself sometimes. By worrying about yourself, I mean, get up off your ass and go do something instead of complaining about it all the time. You should not have to qualify yourself by me qualifying myself. That is a super false way to try to bring about change. It's completely disingenuous. But we have another subject today. We have one more subject today. I don't think we're gonna have time for a random video of the day today, but we are gonna have time for what I like to call our daily stretch break. Let's get it. Let's test this stretch down. Let's go. Let's go, y'all. Oh yeah. Oh, let's get nice and stretched up. A little tense in here after all that. Let's bring it back. Let's go, y'all. Stretch some limbs out. Is right over left now. Nice little short and easy stretch break. I appreciate the stretch break y'all do with me every time we do it. Thank y'all. It is 1:45 in the afternoon, Central Time that is, and you guys have been with me for a little bit over an hour, and we are about to hit our most controversial subject of the day. And I'm sure that you guys saw it earlier. Make sure that you guys get ready for this one. McKinnon said, I stretched, all I see is white. The Hodge twins would love it here. Yes, they would, McKinnon. Yes, they would. Any self-hating black person would love this. Just close your eyes real tight and you're going to see nothing but white.
You better learn how to lie like me. I'm going to find me a white man and lie to him right now.
So we have a controversial subject. And I think it's controversial because I don't think that we understand it. I don't understand it. You know, there's been the 4B movement. And if I found out what the 4B movement was recently, it was a movement that said that women are no longer going to sleep with men at all. It's deny men sex until something changes. But I'm not sure that the movement is targeted towards the right people, because the people that you're denying sex are the people that are asking you on dates. The people that you're denying sex are the people that you're married to. The people that you're denying sex are people that you're dating. I'm not really sure that that's the same as somebody who's taking it from you. But hey, we're going to hear from them. We love to see what the women have to say about things. And we're going to listen. The title of this part is Ladies Hate Fellas Now.
Disrespectful, has no blasted manners, can't communicate. And I mean, like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I've just had enough. I've literally had enough. I just want to be left alone. I'm in a period of solitude. And every time I'd say I'm in a period of solitude, another one of you come along to come and ruin it.
So ladies, in this video, we are going to be seeing women saying that they don't like men. At their core, they feel like I don't want to use the hate word because I feel like it's a very strong word, but yeah, something along those lines. Women are saying that they don't like men, like they just don't like men as people. And even the straight women are saying that they hate the fact that they are actually attracted to men. They wish they weren't attracted to men. They wish they were lesbians. That's how bad it is. And I, for one, I really hate the fact that it has come down to this. It has come down to women feeling like they just don't like the main species. Like they just don't want to deal with them at all. It is actually sad if you ask me, because I feel like there is a lot that has led us to this point. But anyways, tell me what you think about this topic in the comment section below. And yeah, let me not trouble too much in the beginning. Let's get right into the video.
I just saw a TikTok of a young woman who I believe she was followed home by a man who she just went on a date with. It was their first date. And instead of maybe pecking her on the cheek and bidding her adieu and setting up a second date when he got home, he followed her home and tried to intimidate her into letting him in the house so he could get what he paid for. I just want to say this. I stopped dating men last year when I was 28. I did not do it because it's trendy. I didn't do it because TikTok told me to. I didn't do it because of the 4B movement. I didn't even know the 4B movement was a thing at the time. I did it because I got very honest with myself about the fact that no man I have ever known has ever improved my life or made me feel safe or made me feel loved, ever, except for like my brother and like a couple, like a very small handful of male friends that I've had for years. Seeing how dangerous and prone to violence the average man is, or if they're not dangerous and prone to violence, they are absolutely useless. Seeing that, and I have no desire to have that in my life, to have that energy in my life in any way. I don't care. I've always been that way. If I'm being honest, I've never been the type of woman or the type of girl when I was a kid to seek relationships with men, ever. If I hadn't succumbed to societal pressure, I would have never had a boyfriend and would have been perfectly fine with that. I remember being in high school thinking, am I weird? Because I don't like these niggas. I don't know what y'all see in them. It's weird that y'all want them so badly. Like, these girls used to be tuned it up behind the bleachers over these pissy ass high school boys. And I used to be like, what am I missing? Because I'm not interested even a little bit in these dudes. So I started dating because I thought I was supposed to start dating when I was a teenager. And especially when I got into college, I just thought.
Who told you that you had to start dating? And the question is, so this is my question here. I'm being completely honest about this and as forthcoming as I can be. I'm trying to pick the right words. I'm just gonna have to let it out. It's just gonna have to come out. If I misspeak, somebody correct me. Who told you to date people that you didn't like? Why would you just start dating? You know what's horrible? I would hate for someone to start dating me and they not really like me. And I fall in love with them and they don't like me. And then when it's time to move things forward, I look at them and I tell them how wonderful they are and how great they are to me and how I want to put one of my rings on their fingers. And they tell me, I just don't see you like that. And I'm like, we've been dating for like however long. What do you mean? Well, I was just dating because I thought I was supposed to be dating, not because I actually liked you. And I just needed a boyfriend because everybody else had one. Good luck with the rest of your life. Your friend, though, he's kind of cute. Gonna call him. It happens. Not to me, but it happens. I could not imagine it happening to me.
That was what I was supposed to do, and I didn't realize that's why I was doing it. But in hindsight, it was, because if I'm being real, I don't desire relationships with men. I never have. That is not me. And I'm not saying this so that I can be one of those people who has a one-dimensional personality and like my whole identity is wrapped up in being a single woman. That's not why I'm saying this. I'm saying this to call attention to the fact, like, what are these men doing for you guys? Because I stopped dating because they were doing fuck all for me. I do not let men know where I live. I don't let them buy things for me. Because often, just like in the video that I was watching, he thought because he bought her dinner, he was entitled to her. I do not appreciate many men's transactional mindsets when it comes to kindness.
I'm gonna. This is a tough subject, but I have to keep it 100. The majority of interactions with people in general is transactional. The majority of interactions. That's just how human nature is. You can shuck human nature all you want to. You can shill it. You can talk about it. You can, demean it, whatever you want to do. But the majority of human nature is transactional. Everything has to serve a purpose at some point when it comes to human nature. That includes being in a relationship, whether you like it or not. The thing is, instead of being mad at somebody for being genuine with you about what they were expecting, you're upset. Now, I'm not saying that you owe this person anything except the conversation. And if you have these types of problems, I would say that you're a lot more forthcoming at the beginning. I don't have a problem talking to somebody about what I want, what I expect, what I need, what I desire, and the potential outcomes of this. The thing is, if people talk to you about it, you're going to be like, well, I don't like you anymore because now you think that it's about this. No, I'm not saying that it's about this. I'm saying I don't want to waste my time and you shouldn't want to waste yours either. These are uncomfortable conversations that need to be had, so these types of things don't happen. Now, I'm not saying that just make the man be better. Yeah, he should be better. He should not be doing this to people. That is wrong. But if somebody is not doing that to you and you're just offended to be offended, the problem lies within you.
Or when it comes to courtship, or when it comes to friendship. I had a friend one time who told me that I had been friends with this person for 7 years at this point. We had been on trips together. We used to hang out like at his mom's house and, you know, whatever. Like I became friends with his dog. We went to school together. And it was casual. It was whatever. I would see him once every few months and it was nothing. This motherfucker told me 7 years into the friendship that the only reason he was my friend was because he wanted to fuck. And when I told him I didn't want to do that, he was like, but why? I have a job and a car.
I guarantee you that he tried to make moves at you beforehand and you ignored them out of your view of the friendship. I also believe that if you wouldn't have ignored these throughout, I'm gonna keep 100, y'all. I'm not even gonna play this game today. I'm not even gonna play this game today. Those men tell you that they want you, sometimes overt, sometimes not overt. This is why boyfriends get upset with you for having these men as friends, because the boyfriend has seen the behavior. And you will fight to keep your friend when the boyfriend has told you that's not a safe relationship. And what you're going to do, you're going to tell him that he's controlling and that he's manipulating because your friend that you're defending wants to be in your pants. This is not the case with everybody, and this is not the case with everything. It's not. But it happens often, and I would be remiss if I didn't talk about it. You can't umbrella everybody and say, oh, everybody's like this, because they're not. You know, I have less friends than most people. I have less relationships than most people because I'm honest about my intentions at the beginning of those relationships. All of them, friends, women, work even. I'm extremely honest at the beginning. I haven't gotten certain jobs that I've applied for. I haven't been signed to some teams that I could have been signed for because I was honest about my intentions and about what I had to give. I don't go into it open-minded. I go into it very closed-minded, knowing exactly what I'm seeking out of this. And if I'm not going to get what I'm seeking out of it, I'm not going to waste my time trying to cultivate it. And neither should you. It has worked out very well for me. It has worked out very well for my emotions. Yes, I do have them. It has worked out very well for my time management and my asset management. I don't spend a lot of money on stuff that doesn't matter because I'm not trying to impress nobody. I'm definitely not trying to impress somebody that don't like me. Rigid Vibration said, people need to learn leadership skills. Women and children, that's a must. 100% you could control another adult. You know, I just don't think that this woman is necessarily looking at these. She's not looking inward.
Did you only get a job in a car because you wanted to have sex with him? What? I am disgusted. I'm disgusted by the average man.
That's why they said that even the good ones, like you also can't trust them. Even the men that come off as though they are genuine and they are your friends, you can't trust them as well. Because what do you mean? We've been friends for 7 years and you tell me that the only reason why you're my friend, the only reason why you've been my friend is because you wanted to. Oh my God. The audacity, guys. It's the audacity for me. Wow.
It turns my stomach. And I do not understand how women are still on dating apps. I do not understand how so many women are still married to their piece of shit husbands. I do not understand it. I don't get it.
Whoa. How do you know that their husband's a POS? Are you in that relationship or are you judging that woman's relationship based upon your own unhappiness and discomfort? That's a very bold statement to make about somebody else's husband when you don't have one yourself.
Can't wrap my head around it. And this is not me being judgmental. I genuinely don't get it. What the fuck are they doing for you? Why are you still there? Why are you going on dates with these people? The girl that was filming the video, why are you going back and forth with him when you should just call the fucking police? She sat there and argued with that man for 10 minutes, talking about you need to leave. And he's like, no, I'm not going nowhere because you owe me or else you can give me my money back for the food I bought. Why are you even conversing with this man? Why would you even give him your energy in that way? Get the fuck out of there. He is dangerous. The look in his eyes is dangerous. His body language is dangerous. Why would you even engage in that?
Lady, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If your man is not dangerous, you probably shouldn't be with him. I think that men should be dangerous to other men. How am I going to protect my family knowing that there are dangerous men out there if I'm not dangerous myself? How am I going to protect you, the woman, knowing that there are dangerous men out there? Now you can be a dangerous woman. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But it would behoove you to have another dangerous man with you, wouldn't it? Even if they're just friends. He just shouldn't be a danger to you. But to everybody else, oh yeah, everybody else can get it. The man doesn't have to be dangerous to you, but he definitely does need to be dangerous because there are people that are going to take advantage of him not being dangerous. I'm going to protect my people. I'm going to protect my ladies. I'm going to protect my friends. I'm going to make sure that I got it. I got to make sure that I got it. Ain't nobody going to walk me down, not around you, so they can get to you, not at all.
And I don't understand. I genuinely don't get it. I do not get why so many women want their company and want their validation and want their love. Why? What is the point?
Biology.
What do they do for you? Because if your story is anything similar to
They do all types of stuff to them. I mean, some people only care about one thing.
I'm gonna come. Oh.
Men aren't the only ones.
mine or literally every other woman I've ever met in my life, 1 to 3 men in a 90-year lifespan maybe will be good men to you. 1 to 3, maybe. Every once in a while, a woman will happen upon a really genuinely loving.
Maybe you just have a terrible disposition, and that's why you don't meet people that actually like you.
Sweet man. That's usually the man she marries. For most women, it's not the man they marry. Most women marry the first man that shows them some attention in high school or college, and then they spend the rest of their lives mothering a man-child. But every once in a while,
What statistics did you get this from?
true love does happen. I'm not saying I don't believe in true love. I'm not saying that men can't be good people. They can be, but there are so many of them who are genuinely dangerous. First dates, do not tell that mother where you live. No, he will not pick you up. This is not 1950.
Come
You meet
on
him
now,
at the
dog.
restaurant. No, you do not.
Come
ask him to buy you
on,
a because he
man.
has your address on lock. You know, they're dangerous at most, useless at best. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And for me to date again, there will have to be divine intervention. It will just have to be a connection and a chemistry that is so strong that I cannot deny it.
To answer her question, when she says she doesn't understand why most women are still dealing with men, I think it comes down to the fact that we have been sold a dream, like women have been sold a dream right from childhood, you know, the fairy tale of true love. Like women still believe, some women anyways, they still believe in true love. They still believe that there is that one man, you know, there is that one man who is different. They still believe that maybe they can change the man they are with. Most women will stick with men even when they are not good for them because they genuinely believe that this man can be a good person. They genuinely see the potential. They think that he can become a better man. So they stay in these marriages, they stay in these relationships, even when they should have left yesterday. That's just the sad reality of most women in relationships and marriages.
I do not like men, fundamentally as people. I don't mean I'm not attracted to them and that I'm a lesbian. I mean, I genuinely, fundamentally just don't like them as people. If you think about history, how many of the worst human atrocities that were committed were because of men? Think of the worst woman in history that you can think of and compare what she's done to what the worst man you can think of in history has done. It's crazy.
I'm not gonna say it. Nope. I'm not gonna say it.
Crazy. And then the whole bear versus man scenario, there's a reason so many women feel safer with a bear. So many guys are misogynistic and they're convinced that they're nice guys, but they're not. And before anyone says that, oh, well, it's not all men. Well, duh. And the sky is blue. But the 1%.
Again, I'm gonna tell you guys straight up, do not be a nice guy at all. Don't do it. Don't be a nice guy. There's no benefit for you. Look at what happens when you say you're a nice guy. You get this. Look, he thinks he's such a nice guy. He thinks he's gonna get some of this. Why am I still doing the face? I don't know, but it was a good one for today.
Of great, wonderful guys, they're going to understand this. They're going to know how they, being a man, contribute to the patriarchy and how they're privileged, how women are afraid and scared for their lives to just go out and walk to the grocery store or have something delivered. Why should I be?
This is going to be a very controversial take on this, but I'm going to say it. Ladies, and some gentlemen, do you know what would deter a random man from walking up to you 95% of the time? A big strong man right next to you. A big strong man right next to you. Whether it's your dad, your brother, your cousin, your best friend, your husband, your boyfriend. A big strong man would change that. Now that's not idealistic. That's reality. The reality is, if he's got to deal with you, which you seem to be a big, capable woman yourself, he's not going to have to deal with you and the man. But I don't know. Humans somehow come in pairs or triples or quads. They do. There's strength in numbers. I understand that you want to do what you want to do, the same way as I want to do what I want to do, but that's not reality. Me wanting to do what I want to do has nothing to do with reality. And I don't think that people who are talking the way that this woman is talking understand that. The reality is there are dangerous people out there. They are dangerous animals. They are dangerous people. That's just what it is. You need to have people who are capable around you that you can trust. But if you shun everybody that comes around you, of course you're going to be alone. And nothing is going to help you when you're alone. You get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. And if you're vinaigrette all the time, nobody's going to want you.
Fearing for my life to do basic human necessities because of a freaking man. And the good guys, like I said, they'll understand that. And it's just crazy when I say, oh, I don't really like men that much. People automatically assume, well, not people, men automatically assume, oh, you're a lesbian. Cool, make out with a girl now. I want to get off to that.
I feel like people don't understand just how much I don't like men. Like if I was given the option to wipe out all men in the world, including my dad and my boyfriend, that's just a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Bro, leave her now.
I don't know if it's just me, but I just have not been finding men that interesting lately. I don't know if it's because I've been single for so long and I've like decentered men out my life a long time ago. I don't feel like I got to be talking to
that's not a word
for men to feel wanted, to feel validated. Because let's tell the truth, half of these men only want one thing, and that's to, yeah. So with that being said, why as a woman even waste your time?
Well, you said half. What about the other half? What about the other half? Does anyone care about the other half? As a representative of the other half, we would like to be included in these conversations. Now, regardless of whether our request to be included in these conversations is going to be upheld, it's up to you. But just know that there are plenty of women out here who don't think this way. There are plenty of men out here who don't think that way. And we can find community with each other. So why don't all of y'all who want to separate, go find an island and separate together? That way we don't have any problems. All the dangerous guys, y'all know where to go because they waiting on you over there on that island. They can take y'all out the hard way. And we can all be happy over here by ourselves, away from y'all who hate each other. Hatred's not going to get me anywhere. Strength is, power is, being a little bit violent is, having the capability of the violence to put towards protection is. That's what our protective services are supposed to be for, to make sure that people are safe. Well, we talked about that a little bit earlier. They don't think they're safe either. They get scared by acorns. So what we have here is a fundamental breakdown of society. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at a fundamental breakdown of society on multiple levels. And we talk about it all the time and every day, but I'm going to call it out today. All of these people that are complaining are part of the problem. And if you want to continue being part of the problem, go right ahead. No one's going to stop you. That is your right in this country to hate everyone. But even if you hate me, just know I wouldn't let anything happen to you. Would you be in my presence? Maybe to my own detriment, to be honest. I don't like to see bad things happen to women. I don't like to see bad things happen to women, even when they choose for it to happen. So maybe that's me just trying to protect a little bit too much or being a little bit overprotective, whatever. Call it what you will. But at least you're safe when I'm around anyway. Can't say the same about Rodney, but hey, you chose to go out with Rodney, didn't you?
Much energy, and it's just a time waster. I don't see the purpose. What is it going to do? But at the same time, I be wanting to get out and socialize more. But at the same time, I just enjoy my peace. I enjoy staying to myself, and I enjoy focusing on myself. Like, you get to a certain age, you just realize men ain't everything.
So let me ask you, could you not do that without the guys? Can you not stay to yourself without hating the guys? Could you not go out with your friends without hating the guys? Like, if you go out looking great, it's biological nature. Man's gonna look at you and be like, okay, well, she's appealing to my eye. Let's see if she has a personality. Maybe you don't have a personality, and that's why the guys only want one thing from you. But let me tell you, maybe it's about what you like too. Maybe it's about what you actually give attention to. Nobody could be this bad at choosing. Nobody could, right? Right? The jury's still out on this. I'll give you guys my statement, right? My statement's very simple. Men, take care of the women. Women, let the men take care of you, and vice versa. And vice versa. Work together. Work hard. Together. Eliminate the problems when they pop up. Don't make excuses for the problems when they pop up. Things can be a whole lot better for everybody if we work together. Us not hating y'all, y'all not hating us, and we can get rid of all the weirdos out there that are willing to do all the weird stuff that you hate. But when you treat us all like crap, and the smart ones like myself tend to walk away from people who treat them like crap, we don't see what's happening to you anymore. And why would we? I'm 8 blocks down the road when this happened to you because you told me to get out of your face for whatever reason when all I said was hello or held the door open for you. I'm not going to lie. When I hold the door open for somebody, and let me tell you, it's always somebody who is conventionally attractive where I hold the door open for them and they don't even acknowledge that I'm there. They tilt their nose up and they walk straight through that door. There was no thank you or anything, not even a look of surprise, just entitlement. So instead of holding the door open at 100 at 90 degrees, close it to about 75, 70, let them squeeze through a little bit, or I start closing it as they're walking through to let them know I did this because I was trying to do something for you, and then you threw it right back in my face. That's the worst that I'm going to do. The worst I'm going to do is hold the door slightly open, not as open, not wide open, so to say. But then again, I'm not the worst person in the world, and I'm not trolling for you in the middle of the night. I'm minding my own business in my house, talking to the lovely chat that I have in the screen that I'm looking at. We have a tour that is coming up in June. And by we, I mean me and these people.
Why you ain't say nothing? I'm only gonna do this once. You always knew I'd make it from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? You believed in me the whole time, for real? Yeah. I couldn't tell. You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Seen them hard times couldn't kill me. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something. Been watching my story all winter. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't call? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't? You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Put that on my soul.
So I want to make sure that you guys can find out more about the Raw Society Coalition. I'm gonna put this up here. I don't have too much time to talk about it. You guys know the names, but I'm doing my due diligence today. We're gonna put that up there. You guys take a screenshot of that and follow all these channels and let them know your opinions. Especially let them know your opinions. They say something you don't like, say something back to them. But be respectful. We try to keep things as respectful as possible until things get disrespectful. Remember, if you tweaking, we tweaking. That's how it works. We will be in Georgia, in Columbus, Georgia, on June the 6th. And it should be one banger of a show. You're going to have a performance from Classic. That's what you saw up there at the Classic Codes. And it's going to be a good time, guys. And the first one that we had in Chicago, which you guys saw, was a good time. We are on tour. And I'm excited to do some more stuff with the people and to see all of the people around the country who have been watching us so very closely over the last few months. Again, I must thank you for tuning into the TezDown today. This was not one of the episodes where you're going to see me crashing out about anything. And if you came for the crash out, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you can go back and watch some videos from the very recent past that I had, especially the one that I had on Saturday. It is only Wednesday today, guys. So you guys can go back and watch those videos and let me know what you guys think. And if there's anything that I should do about it. As you guys are well aware of, I'm right here. These are my socials that are scrolling down at the bottom of the screen, as well as any type of way to super chat me. We are trying to get to 500 subs on this brand new channel so we can start some monetization and super chats, and we're trying to get to 1,000. So if you guys have not subscribed yet, please go and subscribe to the TezDown channel that you are watching right now. Hit the like button, and I will see you guys in another 24. I am Tez. This has been the TezDown.
I'm the Tez. I'm the Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time.